the business, loving what you're watching, don't miss a moment of it. You know you can catch us on nowmedia.tv. Go to Power CEOs, the show, click on that, and you'll catch the first part of today's amazing episode. We are diving deep into Hollywood. What has changed with AI? And now we're going to go a little bit further. We're going to peek behind the curtain and see what goes into making those amazing documentaries and docuseries that we see on our favorite streaming platform. What does it take to get there? Let's go behind the lens with Jonathan and David today. So guys, what are the most overlooked elements that make or break a docuseries, and how do you have that spark an idea and know that this is what I'm going to go for?
Well, we're doing one now called Cause and Effect. It's about cosplay. There's this whole world that we discovered where people really live to dress up and go to these conventions. It's almost like a career for them. But the genesis was Shatner and I, William Shatner, back in 2011 did a documentary called Get a Life. And it was his take. He did a famous Saturday Night Live bit years ago, wondering why people went to conventions. And so we delved into it and we found out that it was really a religious experience almost. It was akin to, this was their community. This gave them a sense of being, of hope. So fast forward a decade, and I met Jonathan, and we decided, boy, what a great idea. Let's delve, instead of just 1 hour, let's delve into these people's lives and follow them. And Jonathan, you can take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a chance to get to meet a number of cosplayers. I've gotten to meet the fans, obviously, over the course of the years. And what I found is that so many people had such an amazing life journey. Like people who were like very introverted, people who found that, you know, they couldn't find a way to integrate in society. And through cosplay, they were developing new relationships in ways they never could before, and finding ways to connect with people and realizing that they finally have a place in the world, in a social setting. And I said, you know, so many people, even outside of cosplay, just in the world in general, especially post-pandemic with the younger audiences, are going through this exact same thing. So I said, you know what, this is a story we need to tell because so many people are going to resonate with this. And cosplay is just such a great, you know, environment to be in, and socially acceptable environment to be in, and supportive environment that adds so much value to these people. And those are the stories we really want to tell.
And the world has kind of caught up with us. I mean, when we did it over 10 years ago, it was kind of, you know, frowned upon. But now, look at Comic-Con in San Diego, 150,000 people. We're about to go to the Star Trek convention in 2 days. 25,000 people are going to be there. So cosplay is really part of the fabric of society and totally accepted. But it really gives people a meaning. And that's what Shatner found. He didn't know, why do people come to these conventions? And he really saw it, that it gave them a sense of community. And so his attitude about conventions totally changed, 100%.
And so you guys are producing this, and there's got to be some unique challenges to filming in one of these conventions, because I've been to several conventions. I've been to some similar, and it's people running all around. How do you control the environment? You really can't. Like, talk to me a little bit about behind the scenes, the challenges, and how do you overcome them?
Well, it's having a good crew. We
100%.
have people that have been doing it for, Jonathan West, 50 years at least. Sound is an issue, of course, so you really have to have technicians that know what they're doing, can isolate the sound. Also, you need a convention that, most conventions, when you buy a ticket, you agree to be filmed. So we don't have to worry about getting releases from everybody. When you walk into that floor, you're agreeing that, hey, I might be on camera. So that's key. And it's really having an organizer who will work with you, which is Creation Entertainment, who does Star Trek, Vampire Diaries, Battlestar Galactica. We go on the Star Trek cruise, which is 4,000 people, 3,000 guests, 1,000 crew. So they all cooperate with us. What they've seen is that we don't make fun of the people. That's the key, is that we uplift what they're doing. We do not denigrate in any way the people that do this, because it's very important to them. Yeah.
And one of the advantages too at being at one of those live events is it gives people who aren't there a sense of actually being there. So it's very organic, it's very real. You're gonna have people walk in front of the camera, you're gonna have sound not exactly quite right. But that's the reality. And it's, to be honest, it's a new way of filmmaking. It has its own challenges, but it's also unique in filmmaking. It's where it basically gives a point of view of someone who's in the audience, and you're living through that experience in that perspective.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask the question that I know everybody at home is thinking, and what happens when like the fans get in the way because they see you're filming and maybe they cause some sort of a drama? Is that what we're looking for? Like, what? Talk to me about that.
Well, that's exactly what we're looking for, because that's what makes it unique, and a lot of times that's what adds either it's a layer of drama, a layer of comedy, or just seeing something, okay, it didn't go quite right, let's make the best of it. And that's where the talent really comes into play behind the camera, because they know how to roll with it and how to make it work. And in editing, especially once you incorporate AI and different tools into play now, you can do so much with it. And from the point of view of the fans, the fact that they made it on camera, they had that brief cameo appearance, it means the world to them. And a lot of times they know that. They see it when we're filming and they're going, oh, I want my 2 seconds of fame. And that's what we live for. We want to see that. And that's just part of our production.
And so I'm going to go to the next question, because you guys are constantly on your feet during the film process, and you're gathering, I assume, a whole lot of footage. But if you're only making a very short documentary, a couple hours, whatever, if you have a set time, how do you go through all that and determine what are the most important, impactful moments?
We make notes as we go. We have great editors. The perfect example is we did a documentary called The Captains with William Shatner. And our idea was to interview all the individual captains. But then we saw the footage. We had like 100 hours of footage. So we did a 90-minute or 100-minute feature, and then did a spin-off series because we had so much. So that's always a possibility, is you get so much footage that you can actually do a spin-off. But now with digital, you can really just shoot constantly. I mean, there's really nothing to stop you. You're not changing reels, you're just going.
Interesting. And so I'm going to go to the next question, casting and casting pitfalls, because obviously we have to be engaged. We have to be involved as a consumer of the documentary. We want to be feeling that main character energy, if you will. And so how do you guys choose the people you're going to follow in this cosplay, for example?
Well, I can speak briefly to that. Just what we've done before is use the company, Creation Entertainment, to do an email blast and get submissions. So we'd actually cull through thousands or hundreds of submissions to find out who was best, and then interview them personally to see if they pop on camera. And I think we're going to do the same thing with Dave Sambucki.
Yeah, very much so. And the idea whenever you're choosing characters is you want to make sure that you're covering a diversity of people to be able to connect to just about anyone in the audience. But it's also people that have some sort of chemistry together in one way or another. It can be both positive and negative. So a bit of drama can sell just as much as building a budding relationship. And is watching people go through different journeys. It can't be the same story being told from every perspective. So it's very important that we have that diversity, both in how they look and how they act, where they're from, and just what their journeys are ultimately, because that way, no matter who's watching, someone from the audience is going to be able to connect with one or more of these characters at some point.
You know, it's really interesting. I think about the marketing aspect of it. I can't help it. This is, you know, a show for entrepreneurs and executives. I think about the marketing aspect of it. You want that diverse population. You want everybody in the audience to opt in and say, oh, she looks like me, he looks like me. And so I'm hearing that you're casting that diversity, and it's to get that audience hooking, because we want to be able to identify with the characters that are in there. We want to see ourselves in them.
It's all in the casting. It really is.
Yep.
And we have a veteran, Bunham Murray, one of the biggest reality show companies. He started out in the real world, believe it or not. So he goes back that far. So he'll be doing our casting for us.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so we've talked a lot about behind the scenes. What's the question I didn't ask about behind the scenes that everybody needs to know?
Well, behind the scenes, whenever you're producing something like this, there's a lot of emphasis on who's in front of the camera, and that's always been the case. But the amount of talent that goes behind the camera is even greater than what you see in front, just simply because whenever we're producing a documentary, let's say our timeline is, call it 18 months, all of our filming takes place over, say, about 6 months. The other 12 months is all in the post-production. It's the editing team. It's the people that are putting countless hours in fine-tuning that, perfect final product. And like you were saying before, we have hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage. Someone has to be able to dumb it down and say, okay, what is the best elements? What hits the story beats for the story we want to tell? And what captures the essence of the message we want to bring across?
And we're very loyal. Our editor, our main editor, Joe Kornbrod, has been with us for 14 years.
Yep.
And Michael Manasari, who you've met, he and I have been working together for over 20 years.
Wow, that's long-term relationships. That's
Yeah.
really good. And we
very
talk about that in
important.
business too. Like the longer term, it's all about the relationship capital. So we do need to take a brief break, but I would love to hear, how can people who are watching learn more about this? How can they get in touch with you guys?
Okay.
You wanna-
455films.com, info@455films.com would be probably the best way. Jonathan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the best way to get hold of us. And again, for any opportunities, whether you want to be part of our productions, you want to invest in with us, reach out.
Call me
always
at
happy.
Paramount Studios. I'm there every day. I'll pick up the phone.
Thanks, guys. We do have to take a brief break,
Yeah.
but if you're watching, take this away. What did you take away? When we are creating our own ads, our own copy, our own everything, you want to have more than what you need and distill it down, and you want to make sure that everyone has a buy-in. So think about all of your ideal clients and have that copy, have that marketing that speaks to each one of them directly so that they opt in. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Too short?
No, it was right on the money,
How was it?
time-wise, but like too
Seems
short.
smooth. We, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. It's just
Good.
like I have like 10 other questions,
All right, you want to get Michael back in now and talk to him about the investing? Is that next?
Yeah, investment
I
is
think that
next.
is, yeah.
That should be you and Michael,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, I think so.
I've done
I think
enough,
maybe
yeah.
this way,
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
leaving. All right, Michael, you're on. This way?
However you want.
All right, I'm gonna leave this out here.
Oh, I don't even know where we are. I think I have to do a like.
All right,
Good stuff,
get him.
man.
Good, Michael?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've
You
gotten
guys
better?
are great. So much better. It's like you're using AI.
I walk around with my own AI. Michael saw me in the early days.
I'm an intro with the outro that I meant to outro,
Okay,
but I ran out of time.
go roll with it.
We're gonna talk about money, 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 money.
Ah.
That's my job.
Yeah.
Do we know which project?